Okay, we are back. My name is Coach Malik Hall. You can call me Coach. You can call me Malik. Whatever you do, just call me. All right, with that being said, my name is Coach Malik Hall. This is Catch Up with Coach. We are at the eve of the eve of the eve. The eve of the eve of the eve. Yeah, I mean, look, we've watched a lot of football. A lot of football. So look, where do I start? We got the Mannix brothers that won. Go to the www.thebigjab.com. Check us out there. So tune in for that at 1:00. Had a ton of bowl games. I lost power over the weekend. A lot has happened. That's all I can tell you. A lot has happened. Didn't have power. This was like a blackout Christmas almost, but God came through and the lights clicked on as we were about to cut each other's throats. Like we had a standoff in the kitchen. And so that day, I didn't watch any football, but you best believe I was clued in to them box scores in my phone. All right. So where do we start? Where do we go? I got a list of things to talk about, and the NFL is one of them. But before you go to the NFL, you got to go to college. So let's address our college lineups and talk college football. All right, and we're just going to make it pretty recent or relevant, I guess. Does that work for you guys? Because it works for me. Oregon, North Carolina, my man, Coach Brown, Mac Brown. Hey, what a game. 28-27. The Oregon Ducks did get it done. My man D. May, look, he went from being a Heisman sleeper to just okay. Now, with him being a Heisman sleeper to move into okay, to losing a bowl game to Oregon and not being ranked, and I think it might be Coach Max last year. Wish the man could have gone out on top. But football is not a Cinderella story, and we do not believe in poetic justice all the time. And so, though it would be very poetic for Mac Brown to beat Oregon, if he is indeed going to retire, I'm not sure if that is if that is final yet. Excuse me. But be that as it may, Oregon got it done, ski. And yeah, man, Oregon got a running back over there. B. Urban went 13 carries for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns. And however you feel about D. May, look, he can throw the ball. He did have 3 touchdowns for 206 yards, but he did have a crappy average, throwing the ball 18 times for 35 yards. Now, all that, shout out to Coach Brown. If Coach Brown steps down and goes into the Hall of Fame as one of the most respected head coaches, hats off, good side. Can't coach forever, though we would love to. I don't know that we would love to, because coaching is hard on a lot of people. Speaking of which, if you were playing, think about this. And this is why here we go. I'm getting on my soapbox, so if you're not ready for it, hold on to your bootstraps. If you are not playing, and this is why I don't bet on college. NCAA says don't bet on it. Now, I'm not coaching, so I can bet on it. But I don't bet on it because the emotions of a collegiate student athlete are like the Dow Jones. Is up, down, up, down. Okay? The price to play at a high level for a collegiate athlete, collegiate bypasses the student. It's kind of become redundant. But anyway, it's a lot. These dudes are not professional players. though that they aspire to be that. They only hope to be that. There are still a lot of things that they are managing socially, emotionally, before and after this ball game. And so, if you are a coach, do you want to play in the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl? Do you want to do that? I guess if you are a coach's family, do you want to go to the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl or be with family for the holidays? Unless they're flying the families out to be at those games, which some bowls I heard allegedly do that. And this is before the bag man could present himself as a sponsor or a provider for a program. All right. Oregon got it done. They're going into the new year feeling really good. You know what I mean? The credit union bowl. I hope they give them boys a little street cred on top of a little bank cred. Cause look, man, these games, man, these bowl games, they getting all of these names, and they getting sponsorship up the wazoo. Now, what do they do for the players? That's what I'm curious about. Considering Jimmy Kimmel got a bowl now. All right. Shout out to Duke, Coach Elko, my man Coach Elko over there getting it done. First year in the ACC, went 9-4. Yeah, I said 4. He in the South, so it's respected down there. 4. 9-4. Duke went 9-4. Coach Elko, keep doing your thing. Not only did they go 9-4, they got it done against University of Central Florida, which was an honorable and respectable opponent. I mean, and quite frank, like that UCF thing hasn't been the same since that kid has broke his leg. The things that a program can recover from, and the things that just make it hard to recover from. Like, how do you have a Heisman Trophy quarterback and not have a quarterback seasoned and ready to just be tenderized and go out there and make plays? Well, because it would require you to do a lot of extra coaching while your Heisman, really, let's be honest, it's not a whole lot of extra coaching. Your Heisman guy is going to do what your Heisman guy does. So if you got a Heisman guy, an NFL guy, and the coach you coach him, like you'll coach him up. What kills me about collegiate football or like the backup guy, like do not stop coaching your roster. Don't stop coaching your backups, because the reality of it is your starter, he is starter. He official. He number one. He number uno. When something happens to number one, if you don't have a substantial and solid backup, you got to reshuffle your whole roster. Where am I going with this? UCF, when they lost that kid who was probably going to win the Heisman, who was probably going to get UCF in the first playoff game, mid-major, when, like, they haven't been able to recover from that trauma because the program was so high and on fire, and then this kid breaks his leg, Coach Frost leaves, the program finally rebounds, gets 9 wins this year. They go 9-5. Unfortunately, they go to the bowl. They go to the Military Bowl, and they lose to the Dukies, the Duke Blue Devils. I'm only a Duke fan in football. Anyway, all right, keep it moving. Talk about a shootout. We had a basketball score, 53-55, Kansas, Arkansas, and they basketball teams were not playing. This was football, okay? I don't even talk basketball until the last football snap happens. I don't even, woosah, woosah, woosah. Okay, anyway, Kansas. Shout out to Kansas out there trying to turn it around. They went 6-6 this year. Kansas is one of those programs that you traditionally don't hear anything about unless they firing a coach or they have a scandal on their hands. They have good news is they have stayed away from scandals, but they have not been able to stop firing coaches up until now. And so kudos to Kansas and the coaching staff at Kansas. Going into 3 overtimes against an SEC wannabe, Arkansas, the Razorbacks put up 55? What? Huh? Where they do that at? When they not in the SEC. Shout out to the Razorbacks. Congratulations on getting the dub. Now, if you are in that bowl, the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, like, what is that gift bag like? Like, do I get a few wrenches, a few pliers, a few AutoZone gift cards? What does the military bowl look like? I'm just saying, man, keep all the sponsorships and throw it in a playoff bracket, bro. Sis, dog, homie, cuz, somebody, can you hear me? Got all these unnecessary bowl names to play for what? Let me play go home if that's the case. Got to spend a whole weekend out here and get these below average gift bags and swag bags. Meanwhile, I'm salty because I'm not in the big boy. Meanwhile, I'm salty because I dropped to Florida. We should have beat Florida. I lost to South Carolina. We should have beat South Carolina. You going through your season. You're going through your lowlights, not highlights, lowlights. And unfortunately, those lowlights have you out there playing all wrong. All wrong. You need to get your head on this game and out that world. That's one of the things my old man used to say to me, but he would replace it with foul language. All right, keep it rolling. All right, shout out Mike Leach. I know it's been a while. It's been a week since we've been on. Mike Leach, who's passed away, who was the former Texas Tech Raiders head coach, also a former Washington Cougars head coach, and his most recent stop, Mississippi State, who passed away at 65 of a heart attack. Yeah, man. But with that, shout out to Texas Tech. He ain't been at Texas Tech for almost 10 years. But shout out Texas Tech getting it done and showing some Mike Leach love on that sideline. That was dope. That was dope. Now, am I disappointed in Ole Miss to lose to Texas Tech? Ole Miss is, again, they're playing in the Tax Act Bowl. And they also have, they're an 8-win team, and 3 of their wins, they're replaying that low light, and which is why they're playing in this bowl. So now they're playing in this Tax Act Bowl that they have, like, what's that swag bag like? Hey, get your taxes done for free here with your NLI deal. I mean, that's cool. I'd appreciate that. Hold on. I'd appreciate that. The tax gang, put these boys on the tax game if they're going to be making 6 figures. Somebody, please. Yeah. Ole Miss. I got some coaches on Ole Miss. I wanted y'all to win, but for the sake of nostalgia and the football gods and Texas Tech Raiders was playing like inspired, and Ole Miss is like, man, we not playing in the major bowl. Like, what we gonna do now? We not even playing in no dope bowl. What we gonna do now? Like, that's the Ole Miss. That's where Ole Miss is. Texas Tech is like, let's go, man. We about to make work on this SEC garbage. That's how they feel. So you got one team who really don't want to be there, and another team who like, we about to get our names off on these dudes. That's bowl season. Welcome to bowl season. I'm just telling you. Ain't no spares here, bro. You either get struck out or you got the strike. That's it. No spares, no extra innings. That's it. It's over. Now, if you're a senior, you got to get ready for the draft or get ready to graduate, get ready to interview, one of the two. You got to get ready for something. Because right now, it's only a few more weeks of football. And chances are you don't even want to watch those football games because you still got that sickening feeling in your stomach for not emptying the tank on your last game or for being in the jar on your last game. All right. I ain't trying to go at nobody neck. Texas. Hey. 8-5 Texas. The new SEC arrivals. They've arrived, and they have arrived at 8-5, and they have all of the juice, all of the facilities, all of that you want down there in Longhorns, Texas Stadium. It ain't mean nothing in the Valero Alamo Bowl. They mean nothing. Because them Washington Huskies jumped out up on them boys. 2027, Washington Huskies. All right. Last game. And again, check us out on thebigjab.com at 1 o'clock. Generally, we do it on Mondays to recap and give you your Monday morning quarterback and how he got sacked review. But being that it was the holiday, we're kicking it off today, right before the eve of the eve. All right, so check it out. I was a big Oklahoma fan in the beginning of the year. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm not even going to hold you up. I'm not going to front. The Gabriel kid, I loved him. This dude was like, he was electric. Something happened at Oklahoma that just, the wheels started coming off of the dang on the carriage. Like, yeah, get him, boss. Yeah, pow, and then a wheel comes off. Oh, what's happening? What's happening back there? That's how I feel about Oklahoma. Now, things considered, Florida State, if you think Florida State is down, you wouldn't be wrong. If you think Florida State is back, you wouldn't be wrong either. If you're not sure on what is going on, Florida State, you're still not wrong. This Florida State team had 10 wins. They haven't gotten the respect of a 10-win team. I don't know why. I would argue it's because they don't have classic wins under their belt right now. Those 3 losses are classic losses. Teams they shouldn't lose to. And in fairness, this Jay Travis dude from Florida State is ridiculously dynamic and athletic. I'm not sure. Like, he shot out of a cannon on one scramble drill. I'm like, what is going on? Do they got the tape sped up? Slow the tape down. Why this dude ain't, and now he threw it for 416 yards, 2 tutties. But this dude is electric. Now, I'm not calling no pre-Heisman stuff, but he got Heisman skill sets. Now, a lot has to happen from today and what I saw yesterday against Oklahoma, because they did get it done in comeback fashion, beating Oklahoma 35-32. I don't know. This Florida State team got me feeling some type of way. Yeah, that's basically all I got. They got me feeling some type of way because I think they are starting to peak in the direction that I think everybody, if you watch the game, you're like, wait a minute, what? Has this been the same Florida State team? They only got 3 losses? Because I swear I was thinking about this Florida State team like they barely made a bowl game. Check yourself or ask somebody in the South because they'll tell you. My man Matt cleared that up very quick for me. All right. Now, battle of and then here's the thing. They played in the Cheez-It Bowl. Now, I ain't knocking Cheez-Its. My teeth don't like Cheez-Its right now, but boy, Cheez-Its and some beer? You better stop playing. I'm just saying. All right, the Cheez-It Bowl. They get a bowl. Everybody get a bowl. You get a bowl. You get a bowl. How about this? Bad Boy even gets a bowl. It ain't Bad Boy Records. It's Bad Boy Mowers. Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. I'm going to go on a limb and say Diddy got something to do with that. I'm just going to go on a limb and say that. The Cold Bowl. Let's call it that. The Cold Bowl. Syracuse, Minnesota. Who had the coldest temperature the day they played the game? Minnesota. I'm just saying, look, Syracuse is another team. Now, this is a comparable bowl and a comparable opponent, although every team that we mentioned has been that. This is that game where you're like, Syracuse was probably a better team than what we knew. But when they didn't get it done against Clemson, they was not able to just keep playing. They should have only lost one game this year based on the record to Clemson, but then they keep dropping. They dropped it to Florida State. Then they dropped to NC State. Then they dropped to Notre Dame or something like that. Like it just Minnesota, on the other hand, 9-14, Big Ten. Big Ten West was a little garbage this year. The Big Ten East was very, very challenging. Be that as it may, Minnesota got away with a W against the Cuse, 28-20. And if you want me to be honest, Syracuse statistically dominated the game. But Minnesota just played. Minnesota was shut out in the first and the fourth quarter. The difference is, hey, field goals can't beat you. Basically, 2 times Syracuse was in the red zone, they had to settle for field goals. And that's 3 points that equal 6, which is only one possession with 2 potential scoring possessions, like touchdown scoring possessions. That's how they lost to Minnesota. And that is that recap. All right, so now we talked all these recaps. We talked all that. Now we're going to talk Michigan football. We got to talk Michigan football. We go talk about Michigan TCU. Got to talk Michigan TCU. We go talk Alabama, Kansas State. We got to talk Alabama, Kansas State. We also go talk Georgia, Ohio State. Gotta talk Georgia, Ohio State. Got to. But we're going to do it on thebigjab.com with the Mannix brothers. Check us out at 1 o'clock. So this is Catch Up with Coach. I am Coach Malik Hall, and you are officially called up. Peace.